Welcome to the Onebar and Lupagus Show, your daily source for everything Minnesota Vikings.
All right, welcome back to Onebar and Lupagus Show on Onebar with Lupagus. JJ McCarthy, media just having a field day with what the Vikings should do, what they think JJ McCarthy, is he good, is he bad? We're going to give our thoughts on what we think the Vikings should do with our young quarterback, JJ.
Yeah, and before we get into what they should do, let's just recap what has happened. He came back after being injured. Really nice game in Detroit. Not such a great game against the Ravens. Not such a great game against the Bears. And then just a horrible, disgusting game in performance against the Packers to the point where we had -1 yard of offense in the second half. Was it all his fault? No. Was it a lot of his fault? 100% it was. And this is a kid who seems like he's getting worse by the week. And also, I'm just wondering how he is up there in the head. I'm not talking about concussion, just mentally. He's hearing it. He's seeing what his teammates are doing. I don't know what kind of state of mind this kid's in right now.
Well, that was the nicest way of saying that he's played like balls I've ever heard. And we're going to break it down. I mean, we know he's in concussion protocol. We know Max Brosmer is probably set to start this week. Really, there's only a couple real options, and we'll give ours what we think they should do. I don't even know what yours is. I'm very stern on mine. But before we hit that sub, let's get 16,000 subs. So really, I mean, Max Brosmer, he's probably going to start. Either they just keep rolling with Max Brosmer, or they go with JJ McCarthy when he's healthy. I mean, that's really the only options. They don't have another quarterback. So, I mean, like I said, I have my thoughts, but is there another option?
No, unless you go bring in some, old man off the streets to finish the season, which I don't think helps anybody. I saw a quote on Twitter. I can't remember who it was from, but they said, JJ McCarthy, they want to give him as much experience as he can to make sure he's ready to go. But then you're also hurting the other 52 players on the team by having them play it. You're costing them experience. So it was mean. It was rude, but it's actually got some weight to it.
Well, and like I said, the media, when I was starting this thing, I mean, they're kind of all over the place too. A lot of people are still on the whole, it's only 6 games. Yeah, it's been ugly, but it's still only 6 games. Do this, or some are just like, you know what? I don't know if there's coming back from it. So it's just a wide variety of grossness.
Yeah, 100%. Even Thor Nystrom, the biggest JJ McCarthy supporter, is starting to say, what if, and talking about the draft next year, the quarterback position. There was something that came out too. I don't know if it was Ben Gosling or who said it, but the Vikings are trying to gather as much information as they can about McCarthy for the remainder of the season. Obviously, they can't do that when he's standing on the sidelines and not playing. So I think there's some validity to that.
Well, I'm just going to spew it. As far as what I think is the right move for the Vikings is, regardless, I'll say this. If Max Brosmer goes out there and has 3 touchdowns and 300 yards, whatever, fine. You can have that discussion. I think Max Brosmer will actually look better and probably play better. I think he's more NFL ready day one. The ceiling isn't as high. But Greg Olsen said it perfectly after the game on I don't know what podcast that he was on, is I would put JJ McCarthy out there regardless for the rest of the season, knowing that it's probably going to be painful. The one thing I liked what he said, which is different, is put him out there with this. You don't put the training wheels on him. You put him out there and run the type of offense that you want to run. Mm-hmm. You don't put him out there to run some weird little dink and dunk thing like we've seen, and just like, that's not the Vikings offense. You put him out there, you run your actual offense and see how he does. If he goes out there and throws 15 interceptions over the next 3 games or whatever, you're going to know what you got. Like, let it run its course, see what you got, but run your actual offense. Don't run something that you're trying to make JJ McCarthy just kind of baby steps. It's over. But you play him the rest of the season.
And that's the way it was against the Packers. That was definitely a baby glove performance, 5.4 yards per pass attempt, heavy run game early in that thing. That was a baby gloves performance. That was not the offense. KLC was trying to protect him. I agree. I think you have to play him the rest of the way. Just to know what you got. Number one, to see if he can stay healthy for the last 5 games, whatever he's back for. He has proven not to be healthy at all. And then just to see if he can get over this. Is this just a funk? But he has had some really nice throws here and there. I wish he'd use his legs more. You see some issues with the snap. You see some issues with formation, with the cadence. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on, pre-snap stuff that he's having issues with. You got to let him work through it. I still a believer I need to see more before I make my final decision. Is it getting harder and harder to believe in JJ McCarthy? 100%. It's getting harder and harder to believe in him. I still hope he can, but then I think you go in the next year, if you get this information that you need and he looks about the same, maybe just a little bit better, I think you do have to go out and get a veteran who can actually win you some games and let the kid sit next year and hope, year 4, whatever the hell it is, he can turn it around and figure it out because he's nowhere near ready to be playing quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and the only other thing, like with Max Brosmer, like people wanting to see him, more of him, he's going to go out there and win games. At this point, the Vikings aren't going anywhere. You have time to see what you have in Max Brosmer as far as like next year, maybe he comes in and battles somebody, maybe it's McCarthy, whoever it is, for a spot. Like it would be a lot more fun to see Brosmer at this point just because it's been so ugly, but we can wait on that. There's no rush. He's going to be here for a while. And like you said, yeah, I mean, I think anything's game on if this season McCarthy doesn't look good the rest of the way. But like I said, like see what we got. They're going to have sidebar discussions with Jefferson and with these guys that are main parts of this team. Be like, look, we got to see what we got in this guy. And I think they'll be like, fine, whatever. Let's see. But if it's a disaster, it's over.
And we're going to talk more about Max Brosmer tomorrow and some what ifs in a video we're going to do tomorrow. But let me just tell you this. Let me ask you this. Does it matter? What if it's the Brock Purdy situation? What if Max Brosmer is the guy and then JJ McCarthy's the next Trey Lance? I mean, you found your quarterback. You did it in a roundabout way. If you have your quarterback in the end, does it really matter?
No, it doesn't matter at all. It does not
Lynch,
matter.
Wasn't Lynch the GM who drafted Lance? He's still there.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. But I'm more like on board with letting that play out in the next offseason as far as Brosmer winning that spot. We have to see what we have in McCarthy. And honestly, I don't even like Brock Purdy that much. Dude threw like 3 interceptions last night.
He wasn't good.
A lot of comparisons to the Brock Purdy, Trey Lance out there.
It could be that, that's the way it could be going. And again, if you end up, that'd be a total crazy thing to get your quarterback after the draft, use a top 10 pick on a guy who is a bust. If you find a quarterback in the end, I guess that's all that really matters to me.
We got some weapons. We don't need the best quarterback in the world. We just need a quarterback that can get it in the vicinity of 18 and 3 and 87. And right now, JJ is not doing it. Let us know what your right move is for McCarthy for the rest of this season. We'd love to hear it in the comments.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what happens here moving forward with JJ McCarthy. And again, I don't know. I hope he's fixable. I hope he can get through this because I just don't want to see us wasting a top 10 pick on a guy who's a bust. But guys, remember this: early pumpkin pies are made by baking a whole pumpkin, often with a filling of milk, apples, and spices.